Hi, YouTube family. Welcome to 2021. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've been meaning to do this welcome video for the year 2021 and I've just been procrastinating. But today I finally got to it and today you get to finally watch it. So, welcome to 2021. I hope that the beginning of this year has been fulfilling. It's made you see things differently. It has made you just view things in a different way. I know for a fact that things are different for me. It's not what I expected. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm beauty influencing, I'm this influencing, and unfortunately I was supposed to start two of my ventures at the beginning of this year, but because of the fear of COVID-19, I just decided, let me put it on hold. Because I'm just like, these two things, or rather working in these two spaces, requires me to have contact with people, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. So welcome to my channel. If you've never been on this channel, I'm the channel holder. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel so that you guys can see everything that I have in store. There is content that's coming. Yes, content, and that's what we want. So guys, don't forget to follow me on my social media pages: Instagram at Nadim Ross, Facebook Nell Makari, Twitter at Nadim Ross. Don't forget all those handles. So I guess this is also like kind of my first episode for 2021, and I think this is something I really have been meaning to talk about, and not really delve into it too much, because essentially you it's very sensitive. So I'm sure you guys are looking at me, why am I dressed like this? And that's because I'm wearing this head wrap, and it's not just a head wrap. This is it's called Etwewu Kasesotho. And the reason I'm wearing it is because I am a spiritually gifted person. I'm spiritually inclined. And there's a lot of like spirit things that happen to me. I am not in any way, or have not been called to heed a kind of call, whether it's ubungoma or it's to be someone, a priestess or a prophet or anything. This is solidly also based on the fact that I come from a family that's very spiritual. And for me to connect with them, this is just like also just one of those things where it helps to connect with him. I come from a family that goes to the St. John's Apostolic Faith Mission of Southern Africa. When I was 12 or 13, I decided I no longer wanted to go to the church because really it wasn't aligning with myself. And can you imagine, 12-year-old already knows who they are. And then when I was 14, I converted to Lutheranism. So I am a avid Lutheran. But I think one of the things that like all of this lacks, being like attached to a church, is sometimes you're not spiritual, you're just religious. And for a long time, I think I hid behind the fact that I went to a church. So I was a very religious person. Like in your teens, guys, if you're someone who comes from like a very churchy background, when you're in your teens, there's just a stage where you just go to church, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it also became toxic because my church is from the Roman Catholic Church. So Martin Luther, the history of Martin Luther is he was a Roman Catholic monk, and then it's a whole story, but it's not a story for today. But so it follows some of the principles of Catholicism, I don't know. And so it kind of has a monotony to it. And so you kind of lose yourself spiritually in the hymns, and I thoroughly enjoy the hymns of like Talutere. I thoroughly enjoy it, But something happens in your life. A lot of black people don't talk about like when their life is stagnant and you need to. So when things are happening in your life and they're unexplainable, and I guess that's when you kind of get into going to either a spiritual healer or ngaka. So those are two different people. There's a healer, there's a ngaka. Ngaka ki a traditional is like a herbalist or whoever. And yeah, so my family it's a very spiritual family. Like, I come from a very, very spiritual family, and everyone goes to their churches. We have Methodists in my family. Obviously my mom is still has been following the St. John's Apostolic Faith Mission since she was like a kid. Look, because my grandfather, who is my grandmother's older brother, was like a high priest in the church, and what else? And he was also a spiritual healer slash, I don't want to say ngaka, but he was a spiritual healer. So obviously this gift is within my family. When I say my family, I also say my maternal family. So my grandmother's maternal family. But it's so strong. Like Ligozilaka, it's so strong and it's fucking amazing, because there are people who are bloody working for you up there with God and everything. So basically, this video, I just wanted to say it's about my spiritual awakening journey, but I'm not gonna go too in depth about it. So I mean, the story is behind my birth was my mom couldn't have children. When after she had my brother at a very young age, but she was telling me that she tried for so long to have a child and she struggled. And basically, this is her personal journey, so I don't want to really talk about it much. But basically, on the day I was supposed to, or rather, the doctors determined that I was going to, what's this thing? I was dead in the womb. So basically, on the day that my mom was supposed to go and basically get rid of me is the day my heartbeat came onto the sauna, which was when she was 3 months pregnant. And all along, they couldn't hear my heartbeat on the sauna. And for me, if that's not spirit working over time, then I don't know what it is. And like over the years, like I've been like I watch Long Island Medium. I'm very interested in that, and Makhoa call it being a medium, and being able a psychic, but in African spirituality, there's everyone is spiritually inclined, and it's something that's there, whether your great grandparents practiced African spirituality or whatever, it's there. And African spirituality, like, it's been like, I don't want to say fabricated, but there's so many interpretations of it, that I think along the line it has kind of lost its meaning, where we obviously, with the coming up of born again churches, and churches also like having these very stagnant and not fluid rules, it has made it so difficult sometimes to be a spiritual person, and so I decided, I think a while back, that I'm not a religious person. Yes, I'll go to church, but I believe in God, libadimu baka, and they work. I know for sure they work for me over time, because if they didn't, then I wouldn't be on this planet, so my journey was, I just went through like a tough time, and then guys, when you're a spiritual person, or you come from like your birth, or you being on this planet is just like this crazy journey, these things are gonna be with you forever and ever. Some things are unexplainable. Like, you can't explain it to someone, you know. And so sometimes it's very hard for me to explain my spiritual journey to people, because it's just like, I'm not a religious person, you know. I'm a spiritual person, and it's not a decision. It's the way of life that I've chosen for myself. And that also means I've had to listen a lot. You listen, you know. And so I just want to say, like, I'm a dreamer. I can't look at you and tell you what's going on. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. You know, I'm not a magician, I'm not a witch, because white people taught us that because we practice these African traditions, we're witch doctors, we're witches, and we're not witches, guys. We're just people who are very, very spiritually gifted. I've said a lot, but I don't know if I've said enough. But anyway, and so things were not going grand, and then eventually I was like, I'm gonna turn to God, you know. Let me hear what God is saying. So during that process, you're praying. You must pray. You pray and you listen, you know. I know my ancestors are talking to me when I pray or commit myself to like a prayer time, you know, whether it's a week, whether it's 2 weeks, like the miracles are there, you see it. And so I was like, okay, maybe I'm interested in like this thing, because people keep saying you have a calling, you know, but like, to what do I have a calling, you know? And so obviously I went to my spiritual guide, and I was like, look, and she was like, this is happening, your time might come. And I'm like, what time for what? You know, what time is coming? And like, you have a calling. And I was like, is it the red skirt calling or the prayer calling? You know? So that for itself was a very confusing time. But what helped me was praying. And because I am a dreamer, obviously I will see the things that I need to heed to, whether it's having to go to the graveyard to speak to my grandmother, whether it's I have to buy a certain lesela because this is what they want, you know, whether it's like, it's just small things, you know, whether it's even just trusting your instinct and trusting your gut when your gut tells you don't go to this place, you know, and then the next day you hear some shit happened, and then you're like, fuck, my answers are fucking working overtime, you know. Sorry, Waduk, I'm swearing. Anyway, and bruh, it's interesting because it's also scary. You never think that, you know, the people who've passed and the people who've left you on this planet can communicate with you, you know. And other people have fucking strange journeys. Like, I know my journey is like, I know when someone's about to pass away. I don't know, but like, I'll ask my mother, Mom, where's this person? Oh, I last saw this person then, and then doof, the next day the person's passed away. So that's why sometimes I don't ask where's people, because I'm just like, you, yeah. And yeah, there's a lot, guys. My advice to you going forward is, like, you will go to a sangoma or ngaka or whatever on your journey in life, because your life will be stagnant and what. Remember one thing. Every African person, if you are of African descent, is a spiritually gifted person, you know? Sometimes your gift just requires you to go to church. Sometimes your gift is for you to just dream. Sometimes you have a prophetic gift. Sometimes you have to hit a call, you know. But don't forget to pray when all of this is presented to you, because it's very easy for people to misinterpret your journey, you know. At the end of the day, you have to live by it, you know. And I'm saying this because there's a trend going on in South Africa where everyone is now spiritually inclined and everyone has to be part of the red skirt team, or everybody has to go to a Zion or whatever, when the crux of all of this, and I know it's probably like a westernized idea of ukphahla, but prayer is essentially hophahla, you know. So if you are not Christian or belong to any religion, guys, your ancestors are there. Phahla, white candle, kerese sniff, you good. You don't need to do many things, you know. You don't need to go to a thing, you know. Baby tongue, king, you don't need to go to spiritual training. Your spiritual training is here. Your spiritual training is here. Your senses are going to guide you in the direction you need to take, you know. Your body is gonna tell you, okay, you need this. So I have these bracelets on my hands, not because someone told me to wear it, you know. I have these because my ancestors are connected to my hands. So as soon as I know these bracelets, they want me to wear them on both hands, and because like this is where they work, and this is where your blessings are. So guys, pray phahla, listen. Pray phahla, listen, do, you know, do. Pray phahla, listen, do. And I can't reiterate that enough, you know. Badimo ba khona gore ba go furale if you don't listen. And I've experienced it, and it's the worst thing ever. And since that day, like, I make sure that I connect with my people. The underground gang has got your back. You just need to constantly connect with them. You need to speak to them. You need to tell them your issues because they know. Because you must also remember the underground gang is messengers of God. So they work with God, you know. If you don't believe in it, that is fine. You know, you are inclined to your beliefs. But just remember that you need something to hold on to. And whether it's the underground gang or it's God, your Bible. So guys, and talk to your families, man. Talk to your families, talk to your parents about like what is going on, because sometimes your parents have the answers to everything you're going through. Don't be scared to ask questions. Sometimes go to a sangoma, and like I choose to go to younger sangomas than older sangomas, but it's just a preference because they can speak, you know. Speak to them, say this has happened, I saw this happening, what is the reason, you know. I can work up you can to but just remember, pray phahla, listen, do. Pray phahla, listen, do. Thank you so much for listening to my video and a brief chat about my spiritual journey. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy this video. More videos are coming, can't wait. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm your favorite. I'm not gonna say I'm your favorite goggle because I ain't a goggle, but I'm your fave, Neo Maklare, of the pool with Neo Anonymous Maklare. This is peace to you and the nation.